cheap fragrances, I would give a perfect 10 out of 10. We're doing a second part to this series, to our most viral video we have on this channel, because getting a cheap fragrance with a 10 out of 10 score is a rare phenomenon. To get a 10 out of 10 score, the fragrance has to have a scent profile that is well blended, ingredients that smell luxurious, a performance for at least 8 hours, projection doesn't matter, wearability needs to be at least 3 seasons, and the price tag needs to be fair or excellent. It's rare for me to find a fragrance that meets this criteria whilst being cheap, because in most things in life, you do get what you pay for. However, I have found 6 fragrances today that I think do meet this criteria. Some of them still overlap with the first video we did. I think some of these have stood the test of time. But some of them are new, and hopefully you guys will find some fragrances or discover some new fragrances that really give you excellent value for money, and hopefully you will check out. Let's begin. Hey guys, if you don't know already, Atrium Fragrance, our own fragrance brand, will be releasing our office fragrance titled Mr. Elegance. It'll be the next release coming out in January 2024. However, this release is only available as a pre-order for 5 days in the last week of January for a maximum of 400 bottles. To make sure you do not miss out on this release, click in the description down below to be notified of when it's going to be available so you can acquire your bottle. Thank you. Haramain L'Aventure. This is a clone of Creed Aventus, and it's not the most long-lasting clone of Creed Aventus, but it's the most resembling one in my opinion. It's at least 95% similar to Creed Aventus, which is a pineapple, smoky, woody DNA. That's a great daytime signature from all year round. I think it has fantastic naturals in here. The blend is beautiful. It's not as long lasting as something like Club de Nuit Intense Man Eau de Parfum, the 12-hour long lasting clone. So go for that if you want longevity, but for at least 8 hours, you get this fragrance on you, and it smells beautiful. Unfortunately, the original Creed Aventus nowadays smells a little bit overpriced, not as rich as it used to smell, and it doesn't last as long as it used to either. However, Absolute Aventus, I have tried that recently for the first time with one spray in my hand, and it smells really nice. It's sort of revitalizes Aventus back into its glory days. It's more rich, and it seems to be longer lasting as well. So that seems to be excellent. But back to L'Aventure, this is a great clone and something I recommend if you want to smell luxurious and expensive all year round. Carolina Herrera's 212 Men NYC. A fantastic fragrance I always go on about in this channel. It came out in 1999. I think it was the first fragrance with a magnetic lid, which is pretty cool. And it sort of has this old school kind of vibe to it, like the 2000s vibe, but it's not old school at the same time. If you know what I mean. It's sort of like a classical fragrance that will stand the test of time. It has a grassy green notes, which people get scared of. Don't be. I think this fragrance is extremely mainstream and very safe, almost a very safe blind buy. You can sort of get this really cheap when it goes on discount. You have to wait for it, but it doesn't smell like a cheap fragrance at all. The blend is beautiful, musky, clean, fresh out of the shower with a hint of greenness in there. It's very long lasting, around 10 hours. It's just a fantastic fragrance for a younger guy and even the older guys who want something to wear casually. So hopefully people aren't sleeping on this. I think this is still a bestseller anyways, and I can see why. This is a classic. 32% of people who watch School of Scent are subscribed to us. If you guys want to see our channel grow, to really help us out, click subscribe. Let's get that number to 40%. Thank you. Lattafa Asad. So this is a clone of Dior Sauvage Elixir. Sauvage Elixir itself is a very intense, masculine, spicy scent with a licorice-like opening that dries down to lavender and ambroxan backbone. It can be very intense. It was really headache inducing for me personally, even in the dead of winter with only 2 sprays. So hence why I gave my bottle away. Some guys love it. It really does suit some guys more than others. For me, it was too much, but that's why I like that Asad, which doesn't smell as high quality as it. Fair enough, but it's a much more affordable fragrance. It smells luxurious for its price tag. It doesn't smell as luxurious as Sauvage Elixir, but I like the fact mainly that it is more toned down. They really reduced the intensity of the DNA. It's a bit more fresh, easier to wear. You could wear this as your signature pretty much all year round apart from the summertime. It still smells sexy. I think it's an excellent fragrance for its price tag, which is around 20 to 30 pounds, which is really good for this price. And you still get around 10 hours longevity also. Lalique's Encre Noire à l'extrême. This fragrance is art in a bottle. It is dark, brooding perfumery that isn't for everyone. It has this intense edginess to it. It is a definite dark patchouli vetiver based fragrance, almost like you're walking through a dark forest floor with aromatic patchouli rising up and hitting your nose. You're surrounded by a beautiful dark intensity, sort of like you're in a dark hut in the woods, for example, and you're a brooding, intense, and elegant man maybe. So if you want to experience art in a bottle, this is the fragrance to do it. It's excellent value for how high quality it smells. And you should get around 12 hours longevity with this fragrance. You get to see what the patchouli is all about. Patchouli is a very long-lasting base note, and you'll experience it here. So it's a fantastic bottle, and also you can wear this most of the year round too. So wear it all year apart from the summertime, and then in the summer you can go and switch over to Encre Noir Sport if you enjoy the DNA that much, which is also an excellent summer fragrance. Haramain's Detour Noir. Apart from its funny looking shape, I think this is an excellent fragrance. This is a clone of Parfum de Marly's Layton, which is your fresh, powdery, spiced apple pie fragrance with a rose, patchouli, and vanilla backbone in there. So it's sweet, but it has multiple facets to it. It's an excellent sexy DNA that gets a 10 out of 10 in my books as well. A lot of people love it for a reason, and this does it really well. It's around 90 to 95% similar to Layton in my opinion. I thought it smelled really similar, and so did Sam Macer, who is a perfumer that features on our channel quite regularly. It doesn't smell exactly the same as Layton. Both me and Sam can still tell the difference. It doesn't make Layton redundant, but let's say you want to save your money on Layton, you don't want to use it every day. You have an excellent, affordable alternative to it that you can use to save money, for example. It's just a great fragrance in general also, and longevity is around 10 hours of a medium projection. I think this is a fantastic clone. Last but not least, Afnan's 9 PM. So when I first acquired this, I wasn't expecting big things because I kind of thought it was a bit pointless cloning Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultramar, which is a fragrance that isn't that expensive anyways. I wasn't really thinking, who was actually asking for a clone of Ultramar, but somehow this actually ended up blowing away my expectations. This was a really nice surprise. I actually think I prefer this over Ultramar. Ultramar is a very sweet pear, bubblegum, vanillic fragrance that is really only suited for the cold weather clubbing environment, or just like a loud evening scenario. It's a very fun and casual, laid back kind of fragrance. It's all about having fun with that fragrance. They have kept that sort of character and charm, but sort of toned it down the intensity, again, similar to what Asad did, and made it a more wearable DNA. Similar to a Sauvage Elixir, Ultramar I find can be a little bit nauseatingly sweet. It's very much focused on that hyper sweetness. This rounds it out, makes it more of a versatile signature you can wear both in the daytime and in the evening, which is great, and you can wear it pretty much all year round apart from the summer. Whilst it's a fresher take on Ultramar, it still gets you excellent longevity of around 8 to 10 hours, and it's like 20 to 25 pounds, which is around $30, which is an excellent price tag for what you get here. So I think you should definitely check this out if you want a bubblegum-esque DNA. And that concludes this video, guys. I may have been able to squeeze a few more fragrances into this video, but maybe I'll save it for another part. What are your thoughts, guys? Are you able to think of some cheap fragrances that fit the criteria I mentioned at the beginning of this video in order to get a 10 out of 10 score? Also, let me know what your thoughts are on my list here today. Do you agree or disagree? Make sure to check out our previous part on this video title. Some of the fragrances do overlap, but some of them are different. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.